who the hell we think we are when we do something like that.
What's up, fight fans? This is the Combat Connection, and we are live on the Cageside Press social media platforms, coming off of UFC 320 pay-per-view last Saturday, where Alex Pereira regained the light heavyweight title over Magomed Ankalaev. Eddie, what's your instant reaction to the legendary feat that Alex pulled off last Saturday, dethroning Ankalaev there in about a minute and a half?
Well, first of all, he did the MMA world a fucking favor. That was awesome. But it wasn't just a knockout, man. That was a reminder that Poatan might be the most dangerous man in MMA, period, right? Ice cold precision, terrifying power, that calm killer energy that makes him a must-watch guy every single time stepping in the cage, dude. Everybody said Magomed was the worst matchup for Pereira. He's got elite wrestling, a granite chin. Yeah, right. Patient striking. But what did Pereira do? Walked his ass down, stay composed, detonated a left hook that erased all that shit and all of Ankalaev's memories in about 2 seconds, right? That's what separates Poatan from everybody else, right? Timing, composure under fire, power. What I want to talk about is what's next for him. But we'll get to that here when after you get your point. What did you think of the fight? Because I was just like, thank you, Poatan, you saved us, bro.
Well, it's so much different than the first fight, right? The first fight, Ankalaev, and you got to believe Alex that he was at 40%, right? He came out and said, oh, I wasn't myself in the first fight. Well, he looked it. He went downhill on Ankalaev from the word go. There was no offensive grappling from Ankalaev until he was hurt. He tried to go into, grab the legs and then shelled up in the ball. But Eddie, if you'd have told either of us that Alex Pereira was going to finish this fight on the ground, I don't think we would have believed you last week.
Right, man, it was just ground and pound. I mean, those are the nastiest elbows we've seen since John. I mean, John Jones invented that damn elbow, right? That savage, like he eventually invented it. Oh yeah, dude, it was nasty as hell. You can say, man, look, for everybody saying, well, Magomed's rib was broken. The fight lasted what, 2 seconds? Fuck you, all right? That rib didn't have time to get warm, dog. Chill the fuck out. He got knocked the fuck out. Game over. All right. What was it? His coach was looking at Glover like 3, and Glover's like, fuck no, get out of here with that shit. Agreed. Never again. Don't want to see it. Don't give a shit.
Yeah, if your ribs hurt that bad, you got to not fight, right? Like, you're the champion. 100%. You don't have to be thrown into something against your will. You kind of have you dictate a little bit. You have a little bit more power being the belt holder. But I agree 100%. You cannot run that back a third time. The first fight was close. It wasn't a split decision or anything, but it was a close fight. It was 3-2, right? Everybody had it pretty much scored the same way. This time it was one-way traffic, just steamrolled him. It's not like we've got this back and forth situation. He barely held on the first time, was 0 for 11 on takedown attempts in that fight, was able to hold Alex against the cage for long portions of the fight, but there wasn't any real dominant moment from Ankalaev throughout that 5 rounds of the first fight either. So I think that Alex Pereira really made a statement on this rivalry, put it behind him in the past. Eddie, and here's what we'll get into next, which is the interesting topic here surrounding Pereira. What do we have next for him? Now, the sexy move, the move that everybody wants to see is heavyweight, right? We want to see Ciryl Gane and Tom Aspinall. Winner of that fights Alex Pereira, maybe February, March. Winner of that feeds into John Jones at the White House potentially with the heavyweight title. That's a big, big matchup if Tom comes out of that or if Alex comes out of that. But if he stays at 205, Eddie, I think there's a clear-cut favorite for who gets the next title shot, and it's Carlos Ulberg now. After the fight with Dominic.
Whoa! Hang on a second, my boy.
Jiri Prochazka's already fought him twice. Neither one of us want to see the rematch. And Carlos Ulberg made a bigger statement than any of the 4 heavyweights outside of Alex. So that have competed in the last 2 weekends. So I want to see that if Alex stays at 205. If he doesn't stay at 205, I'd like to see him face the winner of Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane.
I might just be the one that wants to see it. Look, if he stays at 205, I want to see the Jiri fight. I know no one's saying that shit. I do.
Third time?
Hell yeah. Basically, just for the stare down at the beginning. Have you ever seen a stare down in the cage as Bruce Buffer was announcing it to just both of them? I love that shit, dude. It is amazing. Now, will the fight be any different? I don't know. I think Poatan wins that shit, but I don't want to see 205. I'm thinking legacy here. I'm thinking 2-time light heavyweight champion, already conquered middleweight, and now it's gone for Johnny Bones. The man chasing greatness, dude. Let's go for it, right? People doubted him after the Jiri fight, saying Ankalaev would expose him, and instead he said the top 10 contenders in shadow realm before the first horn even sounded. So what I want to see is 38-year-old Alex Pereira.
Yeah, they're about the same age.
Bro, take a vacation, my guy. Just go off, see the world for a little bit, for about 3-4 months here and there, whatever. When you get the call back, hey man, Johnny Bones main event, White House.
But I gotta ask you, Eddie, is that a main event if there's no title on the line, right? So Does he have to beat Aspinall to get put into that John Jones fight? Or like you're saying, can he take 6 months off and just be hand-fed John Jones? And would John Jones even want to come back for a matchup that doesn't have the heavyweight title on the line?
Do you think Conor McGregor is not going to be the main event at the White House? Like, do you really think that? Because he's going to be the main event. He's going to be the main event.
If it's him and Chandler, that's...
Bro, look who
I
we're
think that'll be the co-main event. Hopefully the main event is Tom Aspinall, John Jones.
I would love that.
That's my hope.
I would love that. I would love nothing more than that besides Poirier, right? You're right. If it has to be a belt, it has to be that fight because I don't see any other fight where they would go. I mean, you look at Poirier's out here talking out his ass and shit. Hey, bro, clean your house in order, right? You're all deleting your old lady off your fucking Instagram and shit. You got problems.
I think you got a divorce, yeah.
You got problems at home, my boy. All right, worry about that shit. Don't worry about the White House. We got this shit, okay? But I don't think Conor McGregor is anywhere but the main event. You know what I mean? I mean, fucking, Cheeto Diaper Pants asked for him by name. Why not? He wants to go up there. I mean, someone's going to have to help his old ass up the fucking stairs, but he wants to put the belt on somebody for sure, right? So what's going to happen? I think they're going to do a Fugazi belt for Mr. McGregor. I think we're going to come up with some, the White House UFC. I'm telling you, I see some fuckery coming a mile away.
Belt, yeah.
I see it coming, man. But let's go with has to be UFC gold. You're absolutely right. Has to be. I like your idea, right? Tom and Gon, winner gets Pereira, winner of that gets Johnny Bones at the White House. I'd be down with that for sure.
Yeah, I think that's the path, but can we get all parties to agree on that? That's really the question, in my opinion. Now, when you look at Tom Aspinall, he's been the most willing to stay active. He's been the most willing to fight anybody at any time. And a guy in Alex Pereira moving up from 205 pounds to heavyweight, that's a good matchup for Tom Aspinall, in my opinion. He's got size on him. He's got grappling on him. And he's been hit as hard as Alex hits. In these lighter weight divisions, light heavyweight, middleweight, he gets these guys to react a lot more than I think the heavyweights would. Now, would he be able to go in there and knock out a Tai Tuivasa or a Derek Lewis? Probably. I think he probably could get that done. But when you're going against the top of the spear up there with Tom Aspinall, John Jones, these type of guys who have been in big fights with big punchers in the past, I think it's going to be hard for that power to translate, one, and the grappling of a bigger opponent.
I think Poirier does better against John Bones than he would against Tom Aspinall. The only reason because Tom Aspinall is an actual natural heavyweight. He's not a bloated up light heavyweight. Never has been. I mean, if Tom Aspinall tried to make 205, he'd probably die. I mean, straight up. Like, he would not make.
He's a big boy. He's 245, 255.
Yeah,
at less than 10%.
Yeah, Tom Aspinall's not come wait for shit. All right, that guy just getting in shape and get ready for fight. So I think that's one of the reasons why you want to see Tom against John, right? Because John took his sweet ass time getting up to heavyweight. I mean, he's a fat boy now, straight up. He's still not a natural heavyweight at all. John Bones is still, in my mind, at heart, a 205er. So now that I think about that, would you call Johnny Bones like, hey, look, cool, you don't want to fight Tommy Aspinall because, quack and all that shit?
Chael said it too. He said, why doesn't John Jones go fight Pereira at 205?
100%. That's exactly where I was going. Fuck you, Chael, taking my point. But, that's the thing, though. Now that I think about it, that's the move. It's going to be Poirier time, right? Let Johnny.
They've got so many options right now for these guys. It's pretty interesting. I think that right now, that's the best thing that could have happened last Saturday for the UFC is Alex Pereira coming back, because now the ball's back in Dana's court. He's got all these different players that he can make big matchups with come time for the White House. I think this is a really good situation for the promotion.
100%. I think I would love to see Tom Aspinall or John Jones, but if it's not Tom Aspinall because Johnny Bones don't want to fight him, Poirier and John Jones at 205, that could be a co-main event. Put a title somewhere else. I don't know. That whole card, luckily, and Dana's already said it like 80 times. Like he's sick of answering the question. I'm waiting until February to make any calls. First of all, it's bullshit, complete bullshit. Don't buy that garbage for a second. He's already making calls. Okay, but we're gonna have to wait.
Yeah, I think so too. But as far as last weekend was concerned, Alex Pereira, great and historic win, regaining the light heavyweight championship. I believe he's one of very few to lose the belt and then reclaim it at 205 pounds. Randy Couture among that list as well, just off
legend.
But yeah, and Alex Pereira is honestly, he's that style of fighter as well. He has had his best prime of his career here later in his 30s. Randy was, later 30s, early 40s is when, he really was doing great work. But Alex Pereira, it doesn't look like this guy's slowing down for anybody. So we're very excited to see what he has in the future. But before we get off the main event, Eddie, I do want to get your take on Pereira from a historical perspective. Okay. Right now, we've talked about a lot of guys. He's got 2 division champion. He's reclaimed the throne at 205. He's done a lot of things nobody's ever done before. If he can move up to heavyweight, is he the greatest fighter of all time if he wins that belt?
100%. I don't see how you couldn't. I mean, especially with the fact that, Let me take that back a little bit. It's really, 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 really hard to make a case against Jon Jones. I think we're looking at LeBron, Michael Jordan. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Minus the bullshit that comes to LeBron on that side. Just talk pure talent and achievements, not the bullshit. Okay.
Most like Mike Jordan, guys.
Mike Jordan, LeBron, right? Jordan did it, and he got his first title 7, 8, 9 years in. I think LeBron did it, I think, similar time, not a little further than that. So they got very similar accomplishments. The difference is Poatan did it in a lot less time. A lot less time, a lot less fights. Not Jon Jones' fault by any means. That guy won the title young, I think youngest at the time, and then he just killed everybody. That's what that was. But what is that about? No. Hell no. Put that up.
Well, I'll tell you what, Kenny, if Ciryl goes in there and dusts Tom Aspinall, and then I mean, I don't know.
Never mind. You're right.
But that's the thing. It's really dangerous, especially for UK fight fans right now. You got Tom Aspinall there. You want him to be the face of the promotion. You want him to go in there and beat Jon Jones. Everybody favors him in that matchup stylistically. But he's got to get through Ciryl Gane, who might even be more of a stylistic matchup problem for him than Jon Jones is. He's younger. He's just as big as him. He has defensive jiu-jitsu to the point where I don't know if he's going to be able to get him out of there with the subs. And on the feet, I think it's a 50-50 game. So I think the Ciryl Gane matchup is a tricky one for Tom Aspinall, but I would be disappointed just like you, Eddie, if we end up with that.
It's hard for me to care about Ciryl Gane for the fact that he literally sat down and crumpled against Jon Jones. Like, he had no clue he was getting choked. Like, he had no idea what position he was in. He looked lost as shit, and that's hard for me to give a shit about. Why? Just off of that. And again, he's facing the greatest of all time. I totally understand it. Ciryl Gane, whatever happened that night happened to him. He got caught, whatever. But I just can't trust it. Like, I don't want to see that again. You know what I mean? What's going to happen with Poatan? Poatan just hits him one time, cracks and crumbles. No, I think Gane would do better against Poatan 100%. Again, natural heavyweight. Ciryl Gane, 100%.
That'd be a fun fight, actually. Like, if you think about it, it'd be two strikers. One guy's got one knockout power down at light heavyweight, but he moves up against a really fast guy, and I don't know if he'd be able to get to him.
Yeah, no, that's another reason we're watching Ciryl Gane, Tom Aspinall here in next month, in a couple weeks, right? In Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
So that's why we're watching that, because for that reason, both guys are quick, both guys are good strikers. Tom Aspinall just has the edge on the ground. I'd like to see Tom Aspinall just keep it standing, prove a point, honestly, and it gives Ciryl Gane a chance to make it exciting.
Yeah, I think so too. That's a really fun matchup we're going to have to look out for, and it plays into what's going to happen with Jon Jones and Alex Pereira and the White House card. So a lot on the line in that matchup between Ciryl Gane and Tom Aspinall. But Eddie, we had a second title fight on this card with another guy who can be called one of the greatest of all time after last weekend. Merab Dvalishvili, undoubtedly, in my opinion, the greatest bantamweight fighter we have ever seen, gets rid of Cory Sandhagen. Unanimous decision, almost got him out of there with a knockout in that second round. It was the most consequential moment of the entire fight. Cory, he almost got out of there. And Merab, after that, he was smooth sailing. He was able to take over the fight and won the unanimous decision victory. I wasn't really surprised with the performance. I was surprised Sandhagen got caught as bad as he did in that second round. But all in all, I think we both thought this was going to be a 49-46, a pretty dominant decision victory for Merab.
I mean, look, man, human cardio machine, dude. Dominates Cory Sandhagen, keeps his spot as the top bantamweight in the world. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't wild. It was just pure relentless suffocation as usual. That's just other than that second round, which he almost killed Cory 100%. But he came in with that trademark motor, turned dangerous striker, and Sandhagen, he turned Sandhagen into just trying to survive. It was Sandhagen, look, he was doing. Cory was just trying to live and make it through the fight. It was really wild. And people can say what they want about Merab's style, dude. He's not exciting. He doesn't finish fights. I don't give a shit. That was impressive to watch, because we're at the point where with Merab Dvalishvili, it isn't, is he good or is he not? He's the best. What we want to see is, can anybody do anything against this dude? Anybody. So far, fucking nobody. Nobody's been able to do it other than who knocked him out? I don't even think is it Ricky Simone?
Choked out by Ricky Simone.
Ricky Simone choked him out. Okay, yeah, Ricky Simone beat him. All right. Outside of that dude, and even that, you can say he got caught, which I think when Merab got caught, if you watch that fight, I think for that fight back. But ain't no one been able to do it, man. Merab's a fight or two away, or defenses away from being the greatest bantamweight of all time. If he's not already there, it's honestly super impressive what he's been able to do. And poor Cory Sandhagen, once again, now always the bridesmaid, never the bride, my boy.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate for Cory. I love him, man. I'm a big fan of Cory. He's funny. He does the blogs and everything. I think he's doing a pretty good job with that and drawing attention to his fights. But as far as Merab's concerned, man, he had Cory on his bike the whole fight. Cory was circling. I mean, he must have ran 3 to 10 miles backwards in that fight. It was ridiculous. But Merab is just so good, man. Eddie, who would you like to see him fight next? Because he's beaten Jan, right? He's beaten Cory. He's beaten all these guys, Sean O'Malley, Umar. Umar's about to fight Batista. If Batista gets past Umar, maybe we see Batista next. I don't know. Who do you think that has a legitimate chance against Merab? Or is it time for him to move a weight class to face Volkanovski or face Pantoja if Pantoja can get past Joshua Mann?
Well, let's bring this question up first, real quick, before I answer that. If it moves up, because that's one of the ideas being put out there, and I don't think Merab's going to do it, but if he does, who wins, Merab or Volkanovski? I have a really hard time picking against Volk. Very, very hard time picking against Volk.
Yeah.
Because Volk is a mastermind. Volkanovski is the kind of guy that will find your biggest strength and then kill you with it. And I think that's what Volkanovski was trying to do. But
honestly, on the whole roster, if there's somebody that can maybe keep up with him cardio-wise, it's probably Volk.
Oh, 100%. That's I believe. Even though Volk's much older, I'm pretty sure. But
Eddie, think about this. I was thinking about this the other day. Yeah. So Merab goes up. Or I was thinking about this, in between Saturday to now. He goes up and fights Volk, right? He beats Volk. Say he beats Volk. Look at the guys he has to fight, and look how much smaller he is than the rest of those guys. He's going to go in there with Diego Lopez or Yair Rodriguez. He's 5'5". They're 6 foot tall. You know what I'm saying? It's like there comes to a point where you're just not physically built for that weight class. And I would honestly, it's not the most appealing matchup, but I'd rather see him fight Pantoja if Pantoja can win. They're both so dominant at their weight class. I think that if they matched up, it'd be like TJ Dillashaw and Cejudo back in the day. And we've seen it before between those two weight classes. So.
Yeah, and I asked Pantoja about that at LFA 215. I was like, just off camera. I was like, hey, man, I go, is there any thought about moving up to 35 and challenging Merab? He goes, oh, no, hell no. So that's what he said. Of course, money walks, bullshit talk, but money talks, bullshit walks. So, who knows? I think Pantoja, you offered him enough to do it. But in terms of who's next for Merab, I mean, he asked for Petr Yan, right? He goes, hey, Petr Yan, he's a good fighter, whatever. But there's really nobody left. Like, at this point,
took him down 52 times. So he broke the record before last weekend of takedowns.
I think Merab just wants to do it again. He just wants to do it again. But I'm look. Let's say he gets a Petr Yan fight. I have no reservation of saying that Merab's going to dominate that fight again and win the fight again. Or, and Merab won't like this. He won't. And Merab, take the time away. Go chill out. Get on those dating apps. Find yourself a wife like you want to. Maybe not the dating apps. You know what I'm talking about. Go find yourself a wife and shit. Okay? Do your thing. All right? And give Umar and Mario some time to fight and get the winner of that. Because you either get the Umar rematch where Umar's like, all right, learn from my mistakes. And I'll say, shit, I'll give you a better fight next time. Or you get Mario Bautista pissing everybody off, fighting for the title.
You're going to hate this, Eddie, but you know who I think needs to be steamrolled up the top at bantamweight? Just because they just moved to the weight class, had a big win, and they bring star value that really no one else has right now in the weight class. Negative or not, it's Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell just beat Said Nurmagomedov, who's in the rankings and everybody respects unanimously in Abu Dhabi. So, I mean, he beat him on the road. Their judges had to score the fight for Bryce Mitchell, which, in and of itself is a hard accomplishment. But he moves down there. I think that's an interesting matchup. I don't know if Merab can take Bryce down like that, and Bryce would be way bigger than him. On the feet, I think Merab would have an advantage, obviously, but I think there are matchups that Bryce can win to get to the title at 135 pounds, specifically against strikers. So I think he's somebody who we need to see fast-tracked here and have 3 fights in the next 5 months so we can get him in the top 5 and get some parity there in the rankings.
Well, that's why I have a hard time believing that he would have pulled that off. But like, you're not wrong. Look, I'll make this argument. Bryce would already be on his way to that if he wasn't such a fucking dickhead. Okay, he wasn't such an idiot who thought the Earth was flat, the moon was fake. Fucking, someone had good ideas that clearly fucking weren't. Like, and then said it on a fucking podcast with some fucking idiot that was like, "What the hell are you saying right now?" And then he quit. Like that if he hadn't done all that stupid ass shit, look, if Bryce Mitchell just shut the fuck up. But in the beginning, just shut up. Don't say shit, dog. Like, just praise Jesus and do your thing, bro, and fight. That's all you need to do. We would already be talking about him fighting for the title, 100%.
Bryce Mitchell, Petr Yan, fun fight. Bryce Mitchell, Sean O'Malley, fun fight. Bryce
Make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, these are good matchups here. If he can make it there and get 2 more fights in, I'd just like to see him get back in there. I'm not saying that he is the next guy from Merab, no doubt about it. But just stylistically, I think he could be a dangerous contender here in the next year.
I tell you right now, if he wasn't a fucking, psychopath sympathizer, this motherfucker would I'm telling you, he would already be fast tracked because I'm with you. That's a fucking sick matchup. And Merab will take his ass down. The difference is, can Merab keep him down, one? And two, can Merab survive those exchanges on the ground? Because Bryce Mitchell, for as dumb as he is as a human being, he is a scary grappler. Scary off his back. Yep. Scary off his back, dude. That's one of those guys, the cardinal rule when you're on top of somebody in jiu-jitsu, right, and you're in their guard, is 2 arms in, 2 arms out. With Bryce Mitchell, it doesn't fucking matter. He's going to find a way to get one of your arms out of there. He's going to triangle your ass or armbar your ass like fucking that. So
he has a twister submission too, doesn't he?
I think 2, 1 or 2 of them. Yeah. I think one of them. Anyway, but no, he's a badass when it comes to fighting. He's an idiot when it comes to talking and anything else, basically. So.
Yeah, so I think that's somebody that, dark horse in the division. If you guys are fight fans out there and you're like, man, who can, come in Merab? I think he's out there and is somebody that we could look out for. But as far as this one's concerned, this whole matchup, this was one of the most dominant performances from Merab that went to a decision. Here's the thing with Cory. His fight with Peter Yan was, in my opinion, closer than this, but I don't think he gets another chance at the title after such a wide margin of victory last weekend.
So who? Say again? Cory.
I don't think Cory gets another shot at the belt, regardless of who's holding it, because Merab he just separated himself. I hate to say it, but he made Cory look like he's not up in that upper echelon of the division with the Yans, with everybody else, because Peter Yan beat him in a very similar way too.
I hate to agree with you on that one because I would hate to see Cory never get another shot again. But it took him forever to get this shot, right? I mean, and it was a guy who we all thought had a good shot against Merab. We talked about it last week, and now that he got just demolished and embarrassed, we ain't never going to see him. Certainly not against Merab. Maybe someone else gets in there, which I don't know who it would be. But even then, I don't see anybody in the top 3. Like as far as let's say him, Sean O'Malley, who else is that? Even Umar. You know what I mean? That he could actually beat. I don't either.
And it's unfortunate, but that's just kind of the game. Sometimes, there's just that guy out there. And right now for that division, it's Merab Dvalishvili and the rest of them.
How big is Cory Sandhagen? You seen him in person?
He's 5'11". He's 5'10". He's with shoes on, he's 6 foot.
Could he do 45?
You mean 35?
No, 45. Could you go up to 45?
I'm sorry. Yeah. Moving up.
Could you go up to 45? Do you think? Like with some time, lift and get a little bigger and all that.
Would you like to see him with Yair Rodriguez or some of those guys over there? There's some long guys. There's some guys that are 5'11" too, but I think he'd fit in.
Who's bigger? I mean, mostly strikers at the top, 45. Mostly strikers. Not me. I mean, I'm not saying Cory's a shitty grappler, but he ran into a fucking murder.
I'll tell you what. I think he puts up a better competitive matchup with Diego Lopez and Yair Rodriguez and some of those guys at that weight class than maybe he does with the grapplers in his weight class.
If I'm him, I think about that. At least.
Yeah, something to consider. I always did want to see that matchup between Sandhagen and Sean O'Malley. Maybe that's horizon for Sandhagen.
That'd be awkward as fucking the lead up, but because it just like Cory is awkward as shit, and Cory's awkward as shit. He's a very dry humor at times, and Sean O'Malley, you can't really tell when he's joking. He just sounds kind of silly.
Yeah,
so maybe a weird build.
He has to forced trash talk because Sean's a good guy too. But. Good win from Merab Dvalishvili. Cory Sandhagen, back to the chopping block, going to have to figure it out and put together some wins to get back into title contention. But Eddie, one of the best fights that I've seen this year, and a great comeback from Jiri Prochazka, the former champion, takes out Khalil Rountree in round number 3 after losing the first 2 rounds. Khalil, he looked good and technical early. We were talking about it on the show. He's straight with his punches. Jiri is not the most defensively sound, and we saw that through the first 2 rounds. But Eddie, midway through that 3rd round, Jiri hit a switch. He started going like this and crossing up to God. And this is a real-life Mortal Kombat character almost. It's unbelievable, the mentality of this guy and what he's willing to go through to win. We saw it against Alexander Rakic. He was getting beat up bad in those first 2 rounds, in that first round before finishing it as well. Jiri, what more can you say about him? The guy is just so, just determined to win, and when he goes in there, and if you don't shut his lights out, Eddie, I don't think there's a lot of people that can beat him if you don't knock him out clean.
Yeah, Pereira, what's up, my guy? Jiri somehow gets worse every fight, and he keeps fucking winning. So I don't know if it's worse. I
was gonna say, Eddie, he
don't know
was
if it's
in
worse.
school, right? Do you think that him going back to school, he did look like not as shredded as normal? Do you think that had something to do with it?
For sure. But we'll see what he does now that he's out, graduated and all that. But look, he delivered one of the wildest comments we've ever seen, right? So definitely this year, but almost ever. Rountree was kicking his ass early, had him hurt, and it looked like he was about to go down again. But you don't kill chaos, you survive it. You are it, and that's Jiri in a nutshell. We're honest, right? That was vintage Jiri, unpredictable, wild, calculated, in his madness. Really, it was really strange to see the way he like I thought his mind was working, just like you were saying. It was at middle of the second round, third round, whatever it was, he started doing that, and I'm like, what is going on with this guy? And then like making faces and like just
he's
going
like
straight up
himself up.
Yeah. Then he got that sneaky left fucking hook in the third round out of nowhere. Boom! Lights out. That's it. Makes you.
And Eddie, the amount of punishment Khalil took leading up to that, he hit him with like three knees in the clinch that were just brutal and would have dropped anybody else.
Poor bastard.
Spinning elbow against the fence, and then he hit him with a right hand before the left hook that shut his lights off.
Yeah.
I mean, he was running downhill on Khalil there for an extended period of time. And do you think it was a case of Khalil gassing at all? Or do you think this was just Jiri going in there and winning the fight? Or, I mean, I didn't see that Khalil was huffing and puffing after round two or anything that led me think that he was gassing, but he just had no offense when Jiri started, going downhill on him in that third round.
I think Khalil mind fucked himself by seeing what Jiri was doing. It's really weird. Some of these guys you get in there with and you just see them in front of you, you can't really believe they're there, right? For him, okay, for a lot of other guys, it was Anderson Silva, right? You lost that fight before you even got in the fucking cage because Anderson Silva had that kind of aura, that kind of lore. Jiri doesn't have that kind of thing. What Jiri has is that psychopath samurai fucking mindset and shit, and it's very it will fuck with you if you're not ready for it. Exactly. He's tough, but not to that point. I'm not gonna say he's not tough enough to be champ.
Jiri is willing to die.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Is Khalil? Everyone always brings up that whole thing about you were a fat guy. You used to be 800 pounds, right? Yeah. And then Khalil starts fucking crying and telling the story. And look, it's a great fucking story. You can't hang your head on that. At some point, you got to move on from that. Look, that was a lesson that was learned, that was taught. Boom, we're moving on. Now we're fighting. Now we're big time fighters. It seems like his head, he's still that fat guy. He's still that self-doubt. That's what I see. Yeah. That's what I see when I see Khalil Rountree. Yeah. Great fighter against everybody but the top three.
And it's hard when you go in there with a guy like Jiri, and like we're saying, he took his best shot. Khalil was throwing good left hands on him and tagging him in that first round, and the guy was still there. Not only was he still there, in the next rounds, he's praying up to God and pumping himself up and jumping up and down. And I don't know how at that point you're like, well, I've thrown the kitchen sink at him. What more can I do? That has to be an emotional drain, a mental drain, and that then turns physical, and that's what we see with him not throwing back. But Jiri Prochazka, man, when he turns it on and he goes like what we saw against Rakic and what we saw last weekend, he's hard to beat. I don't think he can do it against Pereira because when he goes in so aggressively, he just leaves himself too open and Pereira can capitalize on it. But against the rest of these guys, I think he beats Ankalaev. If it's 5 rounds, I think that he beats a lot of these guys outside of Alex Pereira. What do you do with Jiri right now?
Oh, man, with Jiri? First of all, did you see him after the fight, after Pereira's fight? He's standing there like fucking tear coming out of his eye, and I'm like, this motherfucker's been seeing a story. He's seeing a story in his head. He's the main character, and he should be in his own life, right? But he's the main character, and he's just like, I finally get to fulfill my destiny, samurai against whatever.
I was gonna say, Eddie, Fedor's nickname was the Last Emperor. We got to get this going for Jiri.
The Last Samurai.
Yep.
Yeah. Just keep Tom Cruise the fuck away from the UFC, please. Don't bring that motherfucker in here. That guy's trash.
What was he doing?
He did The Last Samurai.
That's a movie?
Look it up. The Last Samurai's a movie.
What?
Yeah, why? Here, I'll bring it up for you. Hold up.
I've never even heard of that.
First of all,
I had no clue.
First of all, Tom
Cruise played a samurai in a movie.
Tom Cruise as a samurai is dog fucking shit, by the way, okay? This asshole stick to jumping out of planes, dickwad. Here we go.
I gotta watch this.
There you go.
Oh,
Last Samurai.
God.
Dude,
it made him look like a white Japanese guy.
That's exactly what they did. So the whole story is that he was a Yankee, right? And he did some crazy shit. He fought with Custer, and he's got crazy PTSD. And then he goes up to Japan to be a mercenary, whatever he is, and shit. And then he ends up with a samurai, and he learns Japanese, all kinds of shit. That's a good movie. Be like, it's It's all right.
You smoke 3 joints and have like
that might be the problem. I wasn't sober when I watched it the first time. So no. Bottom line, it's okay at best. Like, I mean,
watch.
No, watch it. It's worth a watch for sure.
What year? Like when was it made? 90s, early 2000s?
Probably early 2000s. I'm gonna say. Let me see. Let's see. When was The Last Samurai made? 2003. So I was like my junior year of high school.
Damn, I'm gonna have to watch it.
A long time ago. Yeah, you might need a VHS. I'm just kidding, not VHS. That'll be on stream somewhere. No, but anyway, bottom line. That's a story in itself. Right, the Jiri was like the tear coming out. So I'm like, for your sake, Jiri, I hope you get the Poatan fight. That being said, I don't think that happens. I think we have a better chance of seeing Carlos Urber Jiri before we see Jiri Poatan, honestly.
Yeah, I think so too. If he does stay at 205, it's Oldberg. No doubt about it. I think it's Oldberg. If he moves up, we're going to see him face Tom Aspinall or Cyril Gane's winner. But poor. They had Carlos Oberg at the post fight at 320 because he went to the fight and everything. They were asking him this and that, and our boy Gabriel asked him, "It's like, what do you think about being like the best looking guy in the UFC and all this shit?" And Carlos Oberg's like, "I'm focused on gold." And I'm like, my guy, stop asking him. Leave him alone. Let that guy be the pretty boy. Fucking Christ. Yeah. It's just funny as how they keep asking about it. Leave him alone, motherfuckers. What is this? I think
that's pretty good. I like that. Maybe.
Potentially. But we got to move on here down the card. Youssef Zalal was able to get past Josh Emmett in a way we've never seen, Eddie. This guy got him out of there in the first round. Josh Emmett, as tough as they come, but the submission victory for Youssef Zalal, who's been on a streak and a tear here, Eddie. He's got great movement on the feet, slick submissions on the ground. I believe this was his 7th submission victory. Was able to get past Josh Emmett, who has been a staple of this division in the top 10 over the last 5 years. How impressed were you with Youssef Zalal, and where do you think his cap is or his potential is fully?
Youssef Zalal could fight for a title sooner than later. That being said, Josh Emmett was done before this fight started. Okay. That man, I'm not hating on Josh Emmett. Josh Emmett is a great fucking guy to watch. He's fun as hell. But he was in my opinion, shell of himself on Saturday. Didn't fight like he usually does in my mind. And I think he should have retired that night, honestly. And I think he will.
Here's my thing, Eddie. The knockout to Bryce Mitchell, right? The biggest moment of his career. Knocks out Bryce Mitchell. 2 years off. Why did he take 2 years off after the knockout? That was the best time for him to strike when the iron was hot. And now we're sitting here, 2 losses against Lerone Murphy and, now Youssef Zalal last weekend. Eddie, he probably could have got a bigger name off of the Bryce Mitchell knockout 2 years ago. Oh, sure, easily. But the thing is, he didn't jump on it. He didn't. And I don't know if he was injured or he just took time off or whatever, but it just, you can't be 40. You can't take 2 years off, come back at 40 and think you're going to make a run. This is not going to happen. So I think this was like, in my mind, I think he knew it was going to be his last fight. He was like, I'm going to come out and I just do it out and go home. And when it didn't happen, he was shocked and he just froze. Like, because they were taking his gloves off, I think, in the cage. He just never said anything. I was kind of hoping he was going to retire. I want to see him just, go out, but we'll see. I do have a name. If he wants for Josh Emmett, if he wants to come back and he wants to fight one more time and he wants to say, all right, I don't want to deal with one of these grapplers. I want to go in there and have one last war for the UFC fans. One man coming off a loss also in that weight class, Gene Silva. You want to kill Josh Emmett? God damn. Beautiful fight. I think Josh Emmett would lose. I think it'd be a great fight, but I think Josh Emmett gets fucked up. That'd be fucking wild. I'm not mad at it. The problem is that he's a 35 and he's a 45. Never mind. You're right. Yeah. Not against it. Everyone's calling out John Silva, by the way. Now that Diego Lopez showed how to beat him, everybody's calling him out. It's fucking hilarious. I think it'd be a good get-back fight for Silva, too. He probably needs a fight to get the confidence back. And Emmett's dangerous as well. He could run into a right hand. Just keep Nina out of the fucking fight nerds gym, please. That chick, no, just kidding. Everyone's like, oh, she destroyed the fight because she did that one video with them and now they all lost except for Carlos. No, Carlos lost already too. Yeah, but they all lost. Other than the damn. Kyle's loss was stupid. That was just stupidity. How the fuck are you gonna fly from here to there and have to co-weight twice? But whatever. But for Youssef Zalal, Eddie, what do you want to see for him next? I think that he's 2 fights away from a title. We just beat Josh Emmett, a top 10 guy. Let's see him in a top 5 matchup. Then we see him in the number 1 contender matchup. If that's what I think. I don't know who you throw him to though, because you're not gonna give him a Lerone. Lerone has to be next in my mind. Like I don't see any. You take that title shot away from Lerone Murphy, that's fucking crime.
But who would you throw him in there with?
Let me pull up 145 right now. I think Diego Lopez is going to need to fight again.
Yeah, this year, sure. Yeah, 100%. I think Diego beats Youssef. That'd be a massive win if Youssef gets him, though.
Yeah, it would. But for Josh Emmett, one or two more fights. I was just looking up the rankings here for featherweight. Let's see here at 145 pounds. Yair Rodriguez, Diego Lopez, Mosvar's booked up moving forward. There's some names up here. Youssef Zalal is now at 7. So right immediately in front of him, we have Arnold Allen, Aljamain Sterling. Larone's going to fight for the title, and then Yair Rodriguez. Of those 3 names, Eddie, Allen, Sterling, and Rodriguez, which one do you like most for Youssef Zalal next?
Okay. Arnold Allen, Aljamain Sterling, and who else?
Yair Rodriguez.
Oh, shit. For Youssef, I want to see him against either Yair, because he needs to fight, or I don't know, because they promised Yair the title shot, and then they didn't go to Mexico. Diego's
145, O'Malley's 130. It's hard to keep track of these guys at 135, 145, but I think Pereira's making a good point. I think O'Malley could fight at 45, but I just don't think he ever will. No, not ever. I don't think he will anytime soon. I think in a year and change, I think you'll see O'Malley, especially if he loses his next fight, he'll move up to 45. Him and Sandhagen are big, man. They could probably move up.
I want to see that fight at 35 first. We'll see how it goes. But personally. But damn, dude, I'm not against a Yair fight, honestly. That'd be kind of dope. Yair Zalal.
Yeah, I think so too. Striker versus grappler would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, and honestly, the way Youssef was moving on Saturday, I don't see how he couldn't beat Yair. I think he could.
Yeah. All right, so moving down this main card, UFC 320. We've got a lot to talk about tonight. Got to get through these matchups. But Joe Pyfer took on Abus Magomedov and submitted him with a rear naked choke. Eddie, this was an impressive showing from Joe Pyfer. We thought he was going to win this fight by knockout, but goes in there, takes down the dangerous guy in Magomedov, who has a lot of submission wins on his record himself, and chokes him out with relative ease. After the fight, he was screaming at Sean Shelby or McMahon, one of the matchmakers, because he thought that they said that he was scared or something, which we can get into a different discussion on that all in, on its own. I don't think those guys should be talking to the fighters about being scared at all, especially if they've never fought. He's in that role that Joe Silva was basically in, and I didn't see Joe Silva doing that back in the day. But for Joe Pyfer, I thought this was a great win. And he is going to be moved up the rankings here. Is going to be fighting top 10 competition moving forward. And 185 pounds is wide open. Abus is one of those guys who you can test good guys against moving forward. I don't think he's ever going to be a legitimate contender. But for Joe Pyfer, I think that he is. And he's somebody that we're going to have to keep an eye on for a decent amount of time.
Well, look, good job, Joe, of not eating tacos before your fucking fight, dickhead. Here's the thing about Joe Pyfer is I'm always gonna give him shit for blaming fucking food in another country for losing. Like, no, not losing for not fighting. That's your dumbass for eating some shit you shouldn't be eating. He knows it, so he's not stupid. I don't know, maybe he is. I don't know, but no, hell of a fucking win over Abus Magomedov, right? That was dope. That was good to see him go like put on gas and go for it, because Joe looked like he had a little bit of self-doubt his last fight, if I'm not mistaken, but it was fucking hilarious to see him like, you want to see Bo Nickel die? God damn, boy.
Bad fight for Bo right now.
You know what? I take it back. Kill Bo Nickel. Go get him, Joe Pyfer. Go get him, Joe. Go. I'm thinking Bo Nickel talking. Tell him to shut the fuck up.
He's got a matchup next, I think. Doesn't he have something scheduled?
I hope not. Just kidding.
Yeah, he's fighting Rodolfo Vieira.
Oh, they give him a gimme? Here you go, Bo. A fight you can win.
Yeah,
boring ass motherfucker. Anyone that wants to, people want to root for Bo Nickel, like he's some kind of entertaining fighter. He's boring as shit. He had that one knockout. Suddenly he thinks he's a knockout artist, and he got fucked up last time out. Fuck out of here. That guy's boring as shit. Hey, I don't call Dagestanis don't bore me. Bo Nickel's boring as shit.
Yeah, Joe would do bad things to him, in my opinion.
Joe would destroy him.
Yeah,
Make it happen.
There's got to be some type of not bad blood, but competitive tension there. That's kind of white collar, blue collar. Kid from D1 wrestling in Pennsylvania area, guy who's sleeping in his car from a broken family in Philadelphia, right? So they're both in Pennsylvania. One guy's given everything, the other guy's got to earn everything he's ever had, and I think that is a tremendous fight that you could sell. But I just don't know if Bo is up to the task for it right now. But
I think Bo would be stupid to take that fight. Honestly,
yeah,
but in terms of Joe, I'll say this: I give Joe a lot of fucking credit for being able to push through the fight and like not only beat Abus, after all the shit Mick Maynard said, because he outed Mick Maynard on who's that asshole? Ariel's show. But
what do you think about it? We got to talk about it. What do you think about that? Because I said it on the intro to this topic. Joe Silva was not doing that back in the day. Like, why are these guys talking shit?
No, Joe Silva absolutely fucking was. Do you know about Joe Silva?
He was, but I heard he would do it behind the closed doors to managers and shit.
No,
like that.
Joe Silva was a fucking asshole. Oh my God, the stories I've heard of Joe Silva, the shit he would say to fighters, not just managers, but fighters, was like some of the shit that I read that he said to people. I'm like, what the? How did these fighters not knock Joe Silva the fuck out the next time they saw him? Like the Joe Silva we all saw, dude, after the kid. Oh yeah, no, that was a great fight, good job on that shit. Complete dickhead behind, and not in a bad way. Like he's just a cutthroat. And best matchmaker we've ever had, right? Best matchmaker MMA ever, in my mind. Okay. Yeah. Mick Maynard is not Joe Silva, but he's not nice either. Okay. And you can't be nice as a matchmaker. You fucking can't. You got to get these guys to fight. You got to get him to fight. Okay. Joe Pyfer had that back surgery thing and all that, and then he recovered and everything. And I think it was back surgery thing. And Mick Maynard called him, hey, I got to fight for you, blah, blah, this stuff. If you don't take this and whatever. And then Mick Maynard started saying, oh, he's scared or whatever, right? And the one thing that guy like Joe Pyfer, blue collar kind of guy that grew, that had to come up the way he did, is to call him scared. Because it's funny as shit. A guy like Joe Pyfer, for as much shit as I give Joe Pyfer being stupid and eating the dumbest shit when he got over there and blaming an entire country for his lack of discipline, he is not scared of shit. That man is a
Chimaev tomorrow.
He's a tough, 100%. He's a tough fucking bastard. He is. You give him Poata, he'll take that fight. That's how fucking crazy and not scared of anybody Joe Pyfer is, right? But he's also not a complete idiot when it comes to fight game. When they offered him Abus back then, Abus was lower, right? After the Coven fight, Abus was higher. Okay, cool. Give me that fight now. That makes complete sense. You have to be Donald Cerrone. Excuse the diss here, Donald. You have to be kind of stupid to take any fight they fucking send you. Every single time a fighter goes, I'll take anybody they give me. Shut the fuck up. Don't do that shit. That's dumb as hell. Okay, you think that's how Ilia Topuria got to where he was? You think that's how Max Holloway got to where he was? No, they said no to fights that didn't make sense, and they took fights that made sense. Joe Pyfer is not completely stupid. He's just like, yeah, I'm not fighting a guy under me. I'm trying to move up, not down. What beating this guy's gonna get me? What? Keep me in the same place? Fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm. And Eddie, speaking of fights that didn't make sense, we got to talk about the prelims here before we get to the rest of the show. Patchy Mix, right? I think that's the biggest story of the prelims here. Is he going to get cut? We got people talking about it in the comments here. He's 0-2. And, we talked about it last week, and I didn't want to say it, but we saw it with Will Brooks, right? We saw the Bellator guy, Will Brooks, come over when, 10 years ago or whenever that was. He was the first guy that really disappointed coming over from Bellator. Everybody had really high hopes on him after knocking out Michael Chandler. Comes over. I believe he dropped 3. I think they gave him 3 fights, Eddie, and he dropped all 3 of them. But do you think Patchy Mix gets another chance here in the UFC, or is he going to get walking papers, in the next couple of weeks?
No, he'll get one more fight. No one gets. Very few people get cut off 2 fights, and you could argue he probably won this last fight, and whatever.
I think he did win. How did you have it scored? Because the first round was obviously for the young kid from Poland from KSW, and then he had back control, easily won round 3. I think it came down to round 2. How did you have that scored?
I honestly had a split decision for. I didn't have. I don't do the fucking points thing, but I did have. I would have it split to for Patchy on that one. So when they end, I shit you not, I was making the graphic. I had it split for. I had Patchy's fucking picture out, and a graphic ready to go. And it's like Yakub, and I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? First of all, assholes, I have to rechange my whole goddamn graphic. But second of all, what the fuck? How? Right? Like, and again, it's not a robbery because it was that close of a fight. But that's the problem with Patchy. We were sold dominating, bantamweight. We're getting puppy. We got a puppy in there. He fights like a guy who just got into MMA. It makes no sense whatsoever. So it's just he'll get one more fight. He'll get one more. And then if he loses that, or even if he wins and looks like shit, that's it. Because you can't.
He needs a finish. He needs a finish like air to breathe.
He needs to finish. He needs to get up on that cage and yell his fucking head off. Get that, jack the microphone from it'll probably be an Apex card or whatever. Jack the mic from DC or Bisping, whoever the fuck is at the Apex that night, and just scream into it like, motherfuckers thought I was dead. Fuck, just literally cut the craziest promo he's ever done.
This just came to me, Eddie. We just talked about him at 135.
Okay.
Patchy Mix, Bryce Mitchell.
Dude. Cool. I don't want to see Patchy lose to a sympathizer. Come on, man.
That ain't a bad fight. Both jiu-jitsu guys. I think that's a good fight.
It'll be a grappling match. Put it main event at the Apex. See what's up.
Yep. All right, fight fan. Any other fight you want to talk about here on the prelims? There was a big knockout in the featured fight. This guy's name, Atiba
Gautier. Oh yeah, let's talk about that very quickly because that's the one I want to talk about. Where did I find that Vines guy? Why? Okay, why did they find him?
He only wanted to survive,
dude. Okay, just bear with me. Day one of Muay Thai 101. You know what they teach you besides the striking and all that? Movement. Okay, lateral movement, moving around, changing angles, finding this and that. Right? He looked like that, just circling around, running for his life because Atiba Gautier was gonna kill him. Poor Vines took this fight just to get in the UFC. And here's the thing. You know what he reminded me of after he lost? Is Russell Wilson. Remember Russell Wilson threw that pick against the Patriots, right? Have you ever seen the podcast of it was All the Smoke or whatever it was with Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch, yeah. Matt Barnes, Marshawn Lynch. And Marshawn Lynch goes, man, this motherfucker threw the pick and turns around and he goes, I'll get him next time. When Vines is on the ground after, when Vines, look, watch that episode, dude. I fucking died laughing. Russell Wilson came up, get him next time. What? Anyway, when Vines sat up after getting knocked out, he did like that, and I'm like, it's Russell Wilson! Oh shit! Get the fuck out the UFC, bro. You're gonna get killed by everybody. Get out of here. You can't do that. Everyone saw that fight and smelled blood. I told you now, the newcomers, the guys that have one fight in the UFC at that division, are like, hey, Mick, give me that fucking Russell Wilson guy, please. Give me him now. He sucks. Woo.
Speaking of unsuccessful football, Eddie, what do you think about your Cardinals last week?
Why you got to depress me right now, motherfucker? I'm barely getting past
the ball at the goal line.
Look, here's the thing about that, and we'll make it very quick because we're at a football show, right? Cardinals Day, at Cardinals Daily 1. Or just look up Cardinals Daily on YouTube. Subscribe for me, guys. I do daily fucking updates for my Cardinals. As depressing as they are right now, I'm in full angry Cardinals fan mode, okay? Just bear with me on that one. But embarrassing as fuck. I was at the game, okay? And here's the thing. As a lifelong Cardinal fan, you know good and goddamn well the moment everything went wrong. When Froholt did that phantom snap and hit Kyler in the face, I turned to my wife and I go, because we're season ticket holders, me, my son, and my wife. And I looked at my wife and I go, we're losing this game. We're up 21-6 at that point. And I go, we're losing this game. And I was like, what are you talking about? We're up. I'm like, that right there just killed the momentum. And when Kyler Murray gets put on the back foot like that and they look stupid or does something wrong, he pouts like a toddler. So, man, when I tell you at the end of that game and that the kicker was going to kick, he had missed like 2 field goals that game, some bullshit. And my wife's like, oh, maybe he'll miss it. He won't. Start getting your shit. I'm literally grabbing my toddler stuff. I'm packing it up. I'm not even looking. All I hear was the very faint, and I'm like, told you, let's get to the car. I had already started my truck on my phone. Like, I fucking knew, dude. Cardinal fans, lifelong Cardinal fans will never be surprised when shit like this happens. And by the way, just before we get off the subject, fuck you, Drew Petzing. You're fired, bitch. Jonathan Gannon, fuck you twice for standing up for that piece of shit and then pushing our fucking third string running back. What kind of coward shit is that? Right? You've never yelled at Kyler. You've never yelled at fucking Calais Campbell or Buda Baker, but a third string running back? Oh, no, look at you. You're a tough guy now. Oh, Johnny, good job, Johnny. You're so tough, fucking idiot. Okay, I'm done. You're going to get me going. I'm going to get pissed.
They fined him $100,000 today. They need
to fine him $1 million and then fire his ass, bitch. Fuck him.
Anyway, moving on here, McGregor had a suspension. We're going to quickly talk on this non-story. This is basically self-imposed by the UFC. There's no USADA. They just basically said, oh, well, he was supposed to fight Chandler 18 months ago. 18 months from then is March. So he's good to go in March, right? And there's nobody to check on it. So Conor McGregor will officially be able to come back in March, which clears him for the UFC White House card come June, which it was announced also over this last week. It's June 14th. The president's birthday is when we are going to have.
Oh, Supreme Leader. We're going to have a fucking Supreme Leader.
I thought this was about America, 250.
I thought Diaper Donnie was the president, not King Drunk fucking Un. The fuck are we doing? Jesus Christ, that's embarrassing for the country. Fuck you. Anyway,
but speaking of the White House card, there's been a name that's been popped up. Eddie, we have been covering this and talking about it for a while. Ronda Rousey has been seen in the mix.
Go back to the Conor thing. We got to talk about the Conor thing. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to say this because I need to say this shit. Okay. Yes. Okay. Check it out. Conor McGregor gets hit with an 18-month suspension, right? For worry about failures. What? Okay, so he failed 3 tests, okay? 3 tests? Or not failed 3 tests. My bad. I'm going to take it back. He didn't technically fail a test. He missed 3 tests, 3 whereabout failures.
Yeah.
Do you know the date of the very first one? I'll tell you. June 13th. Does that ring a bell at all?
That was a day before Chandler or something?
No, June 13th was the day Conor McGregor pulled out of the fight with a broken pinky toe.
Oh, yeah, when he pulled out with Chandler.
Yeah. Eat a fucking dick, motherfuckers. He was going to pop hot. I don't give a shit what anyone says. You can't fool me. That dude was going to pop hot. How do you go from a 45er to looking like goddamn Arnold Schwarzenegger, all right, after you break your fucking leg, all right, and not using sauce, okay? Okay, I get it. UFC fans, not UFC fans, Conor fans are going to eat it up. Oh, yeah, this is a nothing burger. There's no story here, blah, 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 shit. What? Yeah, read between the lines, dude. We don't have USADA anymore. We have CSAD or whatever the fuck. I forgot what it was. The Combat Sports, whatever.
Anti-doping or something.
Yeah. The UFC. You change the name to UFC because that's who's doing the testing, okay?
That was for the PFL.
No. CSAD is UFC. Combat Sports, yeah, it's their own. They have their in-house, right?
And so the PFL is now going to be using theirs as well?
PFL is going to be using like some fucking Mohegan Sun something or other shit.
Some jank one?
Some bullshit that doesn't make any sense. You're going to start seeing a bunch of crazy knockouts in PFL, all right? Motherfuckers, start watching. You're going to see some crazy shit. You're going to have Ubereams in PFL, all right? But this is ridiculous, dude. This is insane that people are actually buying this shit. The guy hasn't fought since 2021. Every time we get close to return, something magically happens. You know, we get a withdrawal or a movie. Now we get a suspension. It's the same story. Conor plays by different rules, dude, and the UFC fucking lets him. The truth is, this dude, if it was anybody else, it would have been suspended after. Remember when we had USADA, right? Those whereabout failures. When did we hear about it? After the fucking first one. How do we not hear shit after 3? You waited till now? And then magically he's gonna come back for the White House card. Oh shit! This is fucking dope. Just garbage. Just as someone that cares about the truth and transparency.
He's got one fight though, Eddie. If he goes in there and gets beat, we ain't seeing him again. It ain't.
100%. Reel back though. As someone that cares about the truth and transparency in this game, this is fucking bullshit. As someone that wants to see Conor McGregor fight, have at it. Okay, bend the rules, lie your ass out, whatever. Like, let's stop pretending that the UFC is the NFL, like Dana was saying for years, right? Remember, I don't even remember Dana saying we want to be legit like the NFL. Nah, dog. First of all, the NFL has its own problems, okay? But the UFC is closer to being pride than being anything else.
Oh, easily. Eddie, when's the last time we seen somebody pop hot? We write the articles. When's the last time we said this person failed a drug test in a suspension?
Forever.
And, it's frustrating, but there's a couple other topics that we got to get to tonight. And one of them is the Ronda Rousey thing. And, Dana was asked about this at the press conference, and he didn't shoot it down. He said, yeah, she looks good. Looks like she's in fighting shape. What do you think of this, Eddie? I told you last week, I think this is happening. Like, the snowball is rolling downhill, and it's going to pick up steam. It's just who the opponent's going to be, whether it's going to be Miesha Tate, Holly Holm, or like one of our commenters said here, maybe Gina Carano. Eddie, do you think this is basically a foregone conclusion at this point that Ronda is going to get back into MMA, whether it is with the UFC or some other fight that she tries to do on her own?
A girl like Ronda Rousey is not going to come back to fight fucking Miesha Tate. Let's remember who she was. Maybe not who she is, but who she was. She is a legend. She was that unstoppable. I mean, fucking Joe Rogan's dumbass said she could knock out Mike Tyson.
She at one point was the baddest female that ever walked.
Exactly, right? And then she ran into the baddest female that ever walked. That's the problem. Yeah. Amanda Nunes, right? So, I mean, after, Holly Holm. But I hope it's not real. I don't want to see it. I would hate for her to come in, get beat again, and then everybody starts rolling on Ronda again. Remember when she got knocked out by Holly Holm? She walked through the airport with a pill in her face?
Yeah.
Right? Everyone went after that girl.
She was at a different level of fame, though, man. It's like they had Time Magazine at these events. They had, Forbes at these events. Like, they all wanted to see her. Everybody in the country was there to see. I mean, she was a spectacle, Eddie, that even to this point, it's the only one that's got close is Conor.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, pretty much. I mean, Conor went way past her. I mean, let's be real. Yeah, Conor passed her big time. I mean, Ronda was supposed to do that Roadhouse garbage ass movie. Instead, Conor McGregor did the garbage ass movie. I watched it and it was dog shit. Bro, hey, look, I'm a pro boxer. I'm 1-0. You know when I was 1-0? I was like 16. Okay. I'm technically a pro boxer. No. Anyway, but I know what you say. No, but no, I don't want to see Ronda in there at all, dude. Let the poor girl just go. Let her go do her thing. Like every time she does anything, everyone just wants to hate on her, no matter what. It's annoying to me at this point.
I think the crazy thing about this is, Eddie, this White House card is so big. It's drawing all these people coming out of retirement. They all want to be on this thing. And not even fighters. Now, Eddie, I know that you saw this over the weekend. John McCarthy, who I respect greatly, on the Weighing In podcast, called a quit to the Weighing In podcast and returned to the cage to referee. And, Eddie, I got to tell you, I like it. John McCarthy has more knowledge than anybody. Can he physically do it anymore? That's what what the test is going to be. But at this rate, Eddie, I just saw Herb Dean let Jack Hermanson die 2 months ago, and he didn't get in there and was late on the draw. John McCarthy wouldn't have been any later than what Herb was in that fight. No way. And so I think that he saw that, and he goes, you know what? These guys aren't as good as I am. Even now, let me get back into this. Everybody's got an ego, and Big John's a legend of the sport. He needs to be on the White House card, in my opinion. I would like to see him maybe the main event if he can get back and do some of these fight night main events and get into a rhythm. But I think we need to see Big John refereeing the White House card, and I'm glad to see him back in the sport. And I don't think he would do any worse than the guys we have right now. You
want to get Goldie in on the fucking commentary too? The fuck?
Get Anik.
Oh my God! Stop it!
I hate Anik.
Yeah. Anyway,
he took who's the HBO boxing guy? I was bitching about this.
Oh yeah. What's his name? Fuck, I know who you're talking about. That guy should have been on there.
He should
have been Anik. That was all Dana pushing. Anyway, but no, seeing McCarthy, that was pretty cool. I was shocked when you sent me the link. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? All right, now you're much okay. He lost a lot of weight up here, but he still got a fucking gut. You know he's drinking beer, but like, yeah, I mean, he wouldn't be any different, and it'd be cool to see him in there. It's all good, just don't give him any. Just don't give him any fights. Don't give him a Merab fight. Okay, where he has to move a lot. Just
maybe the heavyweights where you got to have like.
Give him a Derek Lewis against any random Russian you want, because those guys aren't fucking moving for shit.
Yeah,
that'd be cool though. But no, get Goldie the fuck away from the microphone.
Yeah, I mean he can go and retire.
Hey.
John McCarthy is the premier referee we've ever had. He was the best. Lane. He's the best we've had. He wrote the rules.
Yeah,
and he got all these guys their licenses. So.
Now, sorry, real quick. Pereira makes a good point. Too opinionated to call for a fight. Do you think McCarthy said too much shit on his podcast that fighters will be like, I don't want you reffing my fight, bro? You were talking all this mess.
I would say maybe if it was still 2013 and we only had 300 guys on the roster and he was talking about them all, but we got 800 guys.
Yeah.
Some of these guys don't even know who John McCarthy is anymore. We got young kids.
That's true. That's true.
Contender every single week. Right. And I don't know if those guys know who John McCarthy is. And there's so many new guys and turnover coming in. Is John Jones going to know if John McCarthy's in the changing room? Be like, what the fuck? Big John's back? Yeah. Those guys who have been around a while, they might have something to say about it because of how opinionated he's been on his show. But at the same time, I don't think he's talked bad about anybody. He's just given his opinion straightforward. I haven't really heard any shit talking of anyone that he was doing, Chael spouts off at people a lot more than Big John would, or is not as respectful. But I'm happy to see John back in there. And how long do you think before we see him in the UFC?
Is this a one-off? Did he say he's back? He's back
full time. He's doing dirty boxing next weekend too.
I don't know. I mean, it's not up to Dana, it's not up to the UFC, it's up to the commission. So depends on what the commission wants. If the commission wants to get him back in there, he'll be back in there. And it'd be cool to see him.
And honestly, I think it's probably up to John because he's friends with all the guys at the commission. So I think it's honestly the workload underneath him and him being able to be comfortable before he gets back in there.
Poor buddy. Watch him come back and fuck up a fucking fight.
People be warriors.
100%, man. You die in your shield.
Hey, you can still catch the Yamasaki brothers. If the PFL goes to Washington, D.C., they do the cards every single time. Mario and his brother, he actually has a brother who does them as well. I can't remember his first name, though.
How many people have these guys gotten killed?
A lot.
It has to be countless.
If they die, they die.
Oh, Christ.
All right, Eddie, we got to talk about the PFL real quick before we get our prediction. We had Paul Hughes versus Usman Nurmagomedov. Usman Nurmagomedov this time kind of did the same thing he did the first time. My scorecard, he won 3-2. On the judges' scorecards in Abu Dhabi, however, he won 4-1 and 5-0 on some cards. What did you think of the hometown scorecards coming in from Usman Nurmagomedov? And at this point, do guys need to knock Usman, or if you have if you have a Muslim fighter and they're fighting in the Middle East, right? And it's a hometown thing. Do you basically have to get rid of these guys? Because I don't see anybody getting decision victories over there. We saw it with Fakhretdinov in one of his contests where it went to a draw. It was a bad decision as well over there.
I wonder if you're going to see fighters wanting not take fights against those guys in Abu Dhabi, because it's a guaranteed. If you go decision, you're losing. You're losing.
It's your fault.
You're losing 100%. If you take a fight against, I wonder when we're gonna get to the point where fight fans start bitching about Abu Dhabi cards the way they bitch about Apex cards, right? Like, we have shitty judges everywhere, but I mean, those are corrupt fucking judges. That's corruption right there to the highest, one of the highest levels. Like, I guarantee those judges have fucking money on shit. Yeah,
Paul Hughes won one of those rounds, didn't he?
At least I didn't. Hey, fair enough. I watched the fight 2 days later. And I was like, Paul Hughes got, I think, what round was it? It was later in the second round. What round did you give him? Because I can't remember.
I think I gave him the third round and the fourth round, and I gave Usman the first, the second, and the fifth. Because he got takedowns in the first.
I gave Paul the third at least, I think. Yeah. I can't remember. But either way, I thought Paul won at least one round. And I was like, hey, man, at least you didn't get fucking shut out. And when that one judge was like 5-0, I'm like, bitch, what? Like, oh man, that Saudi money must be, that Saudi money better be real tasty there, Don, because they're fucking your whole promotion up, because people weren't blaming the judges, they were blaming PFL afterwards, even though it is the judge's fault.
Yeah, I agree. But here's one of the things I want to ask you about, Eddie. Why don't they do a traveling judge? Why can't these promotions like the UFC and PFL bring a Sal D'Amato with him, or bring a Derek Clearly with him? And go on the road like they do with Herb and some of these other guys. If they can do it with the officials, why can't they do it with the judges?
Because the judges don't make enough money. I don't think. I mean, they don't get paid shit. They get paid out. How much do MMA judges make? Let's see. Let's see. Hold on. Varies from $75 to $100 amateur events to around $300 to $800 for televised UFC events. Okay.
Yeah, so you get 3 fights on a card, you get $750 per. You're probably walking out of there $2,000 after taxes, $1,500.
If they fly you, to fly all over overseas for that, the only reason you would do it would be to, there you go too, right? But that would be the only reason you would do it is to go see Abu Dhabi. You wouldn't do it to go fucking do the job. So, and plus, I think you have to be licensed in different places and all this and that, I'm sure. So, I think it would be a pain in the ass to do, so they just deal with it. But like, we have an Abu Dhabi card coming up here for the UFC in a couple of weeks. So that's going to be interesting to see. Like, at least in the main event, you don't have to worry too much about it. Neither one of us.
Anything else you want to talk about here on the PFL card before we get into our predictions? Corey Anderson went in there and he got it done against Dovlid for the second time. Took home the light heavyweight championship after beating the heavyweight champion Dennis Goltsov 2 months ago in Africa. Corey Anderson's on a tear right now. Your thoughts on them putting a pretty decent card not in the States? You went to those fucking Orlando cards. Your thoughts on them putting it on ESPN Plus exclusive so no one could even watch the fucking event? Dude, that's why I didn't watch it till 2 days later. I had to get the I had to watch on a stream. Like, I had to legally stream the thing because I'm not paying $15 a month. Like, ESPN, first of all, I can't wait till January, dude. I'm gonna cancel ESPN so fucking. I already told my so quickly. Hey, I have the bundle, right? So my kids, I have kids in in 2 different states, and I got. They're all mine and my wife's kids. Chill the fuck out, okay? I didn't leave, little Eddie babies everywhere, right? I was a dog in my day, but I didn't get no one pregnant as far as I know. All right. There might be a chicken Italy. I don't know. I'm just kidding. But they all share the passwords and everything, right? And I already told them, like, hey, enjoy as all the Disney you can right now, all the Hulu you can right now, because come January fucking 1, that shit's getting cut. It is over. I ain't giving ESPN not one more goddamn dime ever again. They're trash. Yeah. Paramount, you better not fuck up. Yeah, I agree. And that was my problem is, like, you have this great fight. Why is there a paywall inside of a paywall? I'm paying $5.99 I wanted to watch it. I wanted to watch it. I really wanted to see. For the first time, Don, it's been a long time. For the first time in a long time, I want to watch one of your busted-ass cards. And if it's frustrating for you and me, and you know how to go get the illegal streams, right? We're like, all right, we're going to watch it regardless. We know where to go. Got to watch it. We know we're going to do it. Yeah. These people who are like casual fans, or maybe they're big UFC fans and they want to try out the PFL for the first time. There are those people, and they get in here and they have to go through 2 paywalls. They're like, fuck this. Like, it's just hard for them to get to the casual viewer when they do stuff like this, or they do stuff like not televised Cedric Doumbé's debut. It's just,
Now PFL shoots itself in the foot, right? They shoot it almost seems on purpose now. They buy Bellator, which is stupid, and they get rid of good people that you and I both fucking know that work behind the scenes that were doing really good work for the Bellator. They fuck that, they screw them over. They keep other people that and then then they make us we can't actually see the fights. Are you a fight promoter or not? PFL. I know Don's not a fight promoter. That guy's an idiot. But the actual PFL, are you guys promoting fights or not? Because nobody could watch it. Literally, nobody could watch it. I don't know if you can find the numbers. I didn't look them up or anything, but if you can find the numbers of how many people actually watched it, but I gotta believe it
had to be so low behind 2 paywalls. Now, I mean, eyeballs. I'm sure there are people illegally streaming it. Like I'm sure people saw.
Oh, they did. I watched it on a certain social media video app that was supposed to be that Diaper Cheeto fuck was supposed to ban. Mm-hmm. No, he was supposed to ban it. It's an app, video app. I'll put it there. I'll leave it at that. But if y'all ever want to see some of that shit, allegedly somebody might put it on there, and then when that gets to shut down, it takes 2 seconds to make a Neocanon that stupid ass app. So there you go. But yeah, no, it's if you're gonna make PFL hard to watch, I'm not gonna watch it. This is bottom line. And I have to cover it. Well, you and I have to cover it.
Yeah. Any other fight on the card that you thought that we should talk about?
Did Don get in a fight?
Which one?
Did Don Davis get in a fight?
No.
Then the coach get in a fight? Otherwise, no.
All right, so we're going to move on to the UFC Fight Night Brazil. Coming this weekend, Charles Oliveira takes on Matheus Gamrot in a battle of ranked lightweights as Matheus Gamrot comes in on short notice to take on the former champion Charles Oliveira, who's coming off a brutal knockout loss to Ilia Topuria. Eddie, is it too much too soon, too fast of a return for Charles Oliveira after the vicious knockout loss coming in here against Matheus Gamrot?
Well, luckily, Gamrot likes to crotch sniff, so it ain't gonna be no fucking knock on this fight. I mean, he'll try, but no. All right, look, you got Oliveira, submission king, the chaos artist, right? Trying to prove he's still elite, and after losing to Islam and getting knocked out. Who knocked him the fuck out real scary?
Topuria.
Topuria, thank you. Yeah, Topuria. And then you got Gamrot, crotch sniffing grinder with world-class wrestling who's been calling for a signature win. Okay, right? This fight is style versus chaos. If Gamrot keeps it clean, stays heavy on top and avoids the traps, he can smother Oliveira and win a very boring fight. But if Charles even gets an inch, dude, even 1 inch, one scramble, he takes the back take, his game. Oliveira, Mama, is too dangerous, too experienced, too slick to be controlled 15 minutes. But he's also been on a weird, downturn lately, right? He hasn't been doing that great. He hasn't looked at himself in a while. So that's why Gamrot's jumping on us, because he thinks Oliveira is vulnerable. And I think he's gonna get a rude awakening, because I'm sick of Gamrot talking.
I do too. I think this matchup is tailor-made for Charles Oliveira. I would be betting on Charles Oliveira as an underdog in this one significantly, because here's one thing: he's fighting at home in Brazil. And what you just mentioned, he's not facing trouble on the feet. If the fight goes to the ground, he's the one who's actually probably favored to finish the fight by submission. Gamrot's not a submission artist. He's a grinder. He's not necessarily somebody who's going to get you out of there with the jiu-jitsu. And I think this, Eddie, is a matchup in his career where the rubber meets the road. If you lose this one to Matheus Gamrot at home in Brazil, it might be time to hang it up, Charles. And we have a comment here. He wants to fight Max Holloway.
It is.
You're not going to get a Max Holloway fight if you lose this one. And honestly, Charles, if you would have just not taken this fight, you probably could have just gotten Max in your next one anyway. But he wants to be a good company guy, wants to fight in Brazil, wants to get the win at home. I understand the whole thing. But I think this matchup is favored to Charles Oliveira because of this the submission grappling, and I think he does get this one done by submission. I'm going to go round 3.
Yeah, I'm not even going to pick a round or anything. I think it'll be later in the fight, but I'm with you. This is tailor-made for Charles Oliveira, and Charles did say, I think he said it too today at Media Day. We haven't got Media Day video yet, so it'll be up in case I press A as soon as we get it. But he did say he wants Max Holloway after, and I think that would be the BMF belt fight for because to me the UFC's not going to go back to Rio soon enough for him to fight to retire there. I don't think. Or back to Brazil to retire there. So I think this is going to be like his last fight in Brazil, I think, and with the UFC anyway. And then I think he beats Gamrot, and then he asks for Max. I think he gets Max, and it's going to be in Vegas, and then for the BMF belt, and then let it ride right there, let it call. And I think it'll be a nice little storybook ending for Charles Oliveira. Win or lose against Max, by the way, because Max is a tough motherfucker. I think win or lose against Max, it's still the best way for Oliveira to go out in a big fight with a belt on the line.
Yeah, I think that is the exact timeline that Charles Oliveira and his team want. We'll see if they can get it done this weekend. Charles Oliveira and Mateus Gamrot, as I am looking at the odds currently, are even money, -115, -105. Neither one of them are plus money this weekend, so that is as close as it can get for the Vegas odds makers online. But moving down, Eddie, to this co-main event, we do have another matchup of ranked fighters here, this time in the bantamweight division between the streaking Montel Jackson, who rides a win streak of 8 into this contest, just beat Daniel Marcos at the fight I was at in Iowa, handing him his first loss in the UFC. Montel Jackson, Eddie, is slick. He's athletic. He's a southpaw, and he's going to be a really big problem for Davison Figueiredo this weekend, especially if he can't get this fight to the ground. And I don't think Figueiredo has the physicality to get Montel Jackson to the ground. I'm going to take Montel Jackson in this one by knockout pretty early.
Bro, I just realized every fight has at least one Brazilian in it. Every single fight has at least one Brazilian on it, dude.
I'm picking against a lot of them.
I'm picking against probably most of them. Oh boy,
Montel and Davison.
Oh no, they put my boy Thomas Peterson against Victor Petrino, man. Damn.
We're gonna talk about it. It might be a death in the octagon.
Man, that's like I kind of root for Peterson, right? A little bit. Well, he trains with Steven Asplin, and me and Steven are like, I talk to Steven every once in a while on DMs and shit, just shooting the shit. And I'm like, and I don't want to be like, hey man, how's Thomas Peterson feeling about this? I don't want to ask him any of that shit because it's like, dude, no.
I'll tell you what though, Eddie, he can take him down. Thomas is a good wrestler. If he gets Vitor or Petrino on his back, Vitor has been submitted by Anthony Smith. So
Vitor gets tired. Vitor gets tired quickly.
Muscle down. Yep.
Right. He gets tired very fast. So he can at least survive that first round and a half. I think he can take him down and finish him on the ground. We'll see. Anyway, in terms of the coming event,
Figueiredo and Jackson. I got Jackson knockout.
I like Figgy. Ooh, I got Figgy decision, but just because he's in Brazil, like you cannot go in there. You can't go in there and lose like that. You could lose, right? But you can't get knocked the fuck out in front of your people, man. I think Figgy's gonna go in there. I think he's gonna be. Yeah, I know. You know him. He's a fucking, he's an ego guy, but he's not, he's not killing himself to make 25 anymore. Yeah. It'll be interesting, but I'm not fully on that train because Montel Jackson can crack. So I wouldn't be surprised.
He can't.
I wouldn't be surprised if you were right, dude.
What'd you say?
Would not be surprised if you were right.
Yeah, here's the thing. He's just 5 inches taller, right? And we got a guy who was at 125 moving up. He's a small 135er against a big 135er. The big 135er is a southpaw. He's more athletic. He's faster, and he hits harder. I think you're going to go with Jackson, but we'll differ on that one. Moving down the card here quickly, we got Vicente Luque versus Joel Alvarez. Joel Alvarez comes in this one 22-3. He's 6'3" here at 170 pounds. Eddie, I think that he puts on a show against Vicente Luque. Vicente Luque's kind of been fading here as of late, but I like Joel Alvarez. He's got good submissions. He's good on the feet. I'm going to take him by decision. I think Vicente Luque is going to be a little bit too tough to take out in his home country, but I think Joel Alvarez gets it done dominantly.
No, you said everything I wanted to say, dude. Fucking 100% decision, if not worse. Vicente Luque is on his last legs on this one. I think he's we're going to start seeing a lot of these guys start seeing their way out of the UFC at least, maybe even retire completely. But Luque is not that guy anymore. He's not that guy who's going to beat. Remember he used to come in and everyone would be like, oh, she's going to kill him. He's going to kill him. Not anymore. Now he's the guy getting killed. So I got Joel Alvarez by decision as well.
Yeah, and in that fight, it's Joel Alvarez -750, big betting favorite in that one. Moving on down the card here, Eddie, is a heavyweight matchup that's 50-50 on the odds, and it's between two guys that can really crack, two guys with one-shot knockout power. Jonathan Deniz, former professional kickboxer over there in Glory, is going to be taking on Mario Pinto, who's got one of the biggest right hands in the heavyweight division coming off the Contender Series. It has all the potential in the world, 6'6". What do you think about this matchup? Is Pinto a good enough athlete to get past the technical kickboxer in Deniz? Sure, he's younger. We've seen Deniz get outclassed before, so I can see Pinto winning. In terms of who I'm going to pick, I'll probably take Pinto. I mean, I think the height and I don't know the reach advantage and all that, but you're right. Nasty fucking right hand. He's long. He's strong. He knows how to use it. Yep. Pause. That was one of the most pause fucking lines I ever given on this show. Goddamn. He's long. He's long. He's mean. He knows how to use it. Pause, motherfuckers. My bad, boys. Actually, crazy enough here, Eddie. Jonathan Deniz is an inch shorter, but he's actually got a half inch in reach, which is crazy to think of because Mario Pinto's got a 79-inch reach, and he's a really big.
So we're gonna see a fuck ton of overhand rights. That's gonna be fun.
Reach. I think somebody's going out in this one.
Someone's got to go out. Yeah, I got Pinto either way. I don't know.
I'm going to take Pinto as well. I'll take him by knockout.
There you go.
But I could see that going to decision as well.
Yeah.
Eddie, I got to tell you, Ricardo Ramos, we've seen him for a long time. I do not know much about Kane Ofale, the guy that he is fighting here from Australia, 12-4 versus 17-7. I'm going to go with Ricardo Ramos. I'm more familiar with him. I know his game. He's slick submissions. He's in and out of range. He's good on the feet at distance. I'm going to take Ricardo Ramos just because I'm more familiar with him. They call Khan often Genghis Khan because his name's Khan. So his nickname is Genghis. Okay. Right. So Genghis Khan. Dude, two L's in a row. Myron Santos knocked him out. Muhammad Naimov decisioned him. I don't see how Ramos doesn't beat him, honestly. And then, Genghis Khan will find his way out of the UFC. Okay, so he's been in the UFC for like 9 months. He has 2 losses. That's all right.
He's fighting too soon. He should have taken a little bit more time, but, he fuck around to find out there. In Brazil, on top of all that.
So you talked about Vitor Petrino, Thomas Peterson. I'm going to take Vitor Petrino on that one by decision, but I think Thomas Peterson can last because of his grappling in that one. And Vitor's one of these guys that fights to the level of his competition. When we saw him versus Anthony Smith, that was one of the worst displays I've seen of someone that was supposed to – I mean, he was set up to win that fight and was going to be the next Carlos Ulberg in that division if he did win that fight, but jumped into a guillotine. But, yeah, I got Vitor in this one by decision, fighting at home. What do you like in that one? Is there another fight on the card you like too?
I like Peterson, mostly because I want to say Vitor Petrino got beat by a diesel truck mechanic, bitch. What's up? I like Thomas Peterson. Honestly, he's a fucking cool fucking dude. Vitor Petrino's got a lot of muscle. Dude, he's gonna carry that. And Thomas has solid cardio. He knows how to use his how to not waste his gas tank. And Vitor, just like you said, always fights down to the level of his opponents, which gives his opponent a wide open door to beat him. And I think Thomas Peterson's gonna pull off a decision there on that one.
All right, one more fight, Eddie. Also at heavyweight that we got to talk about on this card, the streaking Walter Walker, who seems to be heel-hooking the entire heavyweight division. He will be taking on Kamaru Usman's brother, Muhammad Usman, who at one time did win the Ultimate Fighter, had that big knockout over Zach Plaga, but since then has kind of struggled. And we haven't seen him really grow into the potential that a lot of people had for him coming off that Ultimate Fighter show. He's going to be taking on Walter Walker, who's coming in on a 3-fight win streak in the UFC. Johnny Walker's little brother. And Eddie, I got to tell you, I think he's even more talented than Johnny Walker due to the slick submissions that this guy has and the lack of real stars and real potential at the heavyweight division. I think he can move up here in relative short order, be a ranked fighter.
Walter Walker by heel hook. Not hard.
I mean, what is it, 2 in a row, 3 in a row?
For Kamaru Usman to be that big, that mean looking, and that fucking strong, to be that fucking tentative when you fight is ridiculous. And Walter Walker's gonna be like, "What's up, bitch?" Just throw himself, go inverted, grab the fucking leg, and he'll hook his ass real fucking fast. Oh, it's gonna be over.
Yeah, I think so too. But Muhammad Usman, you're right.
Hold on. Yes. Winner fights Paul Harris. Paul Harris. Remember? Did you ever hear Goldie ever say Paul Harris? He called him Paul Harris. I was like. There's a white dude in the fucking that does submissions too. Paul Harris. He goes,
sounds like an accountant.
No, Rogan. Yeah, exactly. Rogan would fucking be like, no, Paul Harris. He goes, yeah, no, Paul Harris. Oh, God damn it, Goldie, shut the fuck up.
He's got that Midwestern white dude slang.
It is what it is. Either way, no, Paul Harris. But I've just seen Paul Harris. I haven't seen him lately at all. But I saw a picture of him for 3 or 4 years ago, and he's taken every steroid he could find. I think he stole every steroid he could possibly find, and just fuck it. His arms are so big. He's so big. It doesn't make sense. It's so stupid. Anyway, but that'd be funny, Paul Harris. Anyway, Chael says Pereira for Alex. Alex Pereira. Yeah. Oh, poor Chael. Poor Chael. All that shit is going to your head now, my boy.
Yeah. So, fight fans, we will break down any analysis and breaking news that comes from now till next Wednesday. You can join us next Wednesday at 7 to 7:30, and we will be on here like scheduled as always. That's what we got for you this week. We got a UFC Fight Night card coming at you from Brazil. PFL just had their show last weekend, as well as the UFC pay-per-view. We will catch you guys next week. Thanks for joining us.
Come on, Phoenix Mercury, pull the shit off. Pause.